Happy Friday, guys. It's Charli Wall here, coming at you with the Friday question of the week segment. I have had loads of questions this week around the coronavirus and experiencing quite a lot of anxiety, health anxiety, worrying about the future, general anxiety, general panic, general fear around like what's going to happen, what is happening. So I thought I'd speak to that this week. Although I'm no expert, I just want to say that from the get-go, I'm no expert around the coronavirus, but I have been a nurse. I have worked in health and fitness and nutrition for the last 15 years. I have worked as a mental health specialist for the last 20 something years. So I feel like I can use my life experience on this topic really. Firstly, I want to say the thing about life is you can never plan. You can never plan anything. Like whatever we have in our mind as what we see to be in the future, that tends to kind of never go quite as we wanted it to. No matter how much we try and plan something, life seemingly has a different road for you, or a different way of, navigating your life for you. So we, in our innocence, like to try and plan for the future. And we like to try and plan for like events such as this. So at the moment, what you've got is people stockpiling loads of food and different things just in case. But you see, the thing is, we just don't know at this point, and what we can only go on is what the government are telling us and the lessons that are being learned from other countries. So what happens is we get into our head. So as humans, we like to know, as I was saying, about the future. We like to plan. We like to make sure that everything is kind of in a little box that we can tick and everything is known to us. But that's just not the way that life works out. So people who experience anxiety, and I work with people who experience anxiety, ranging from health anxiety right the way through to, day-to-day social anxiety, or day-to-day worrying about everything, conversations that people are having with other people. Anxiety can show up and manifest in many different ways. And I know at the moment, the coronavirus is understandably affecting many people's mental health and well-being. So from just from a mental health perspective, there's nothing that we can do other than listen to the advice that we've been given, i.e. wash your hands, and, if you feel like you've got a cold, stay indoors, and kind of do all the sensible things. But bear in mind that whatever happens is out of our control. We can't predict what's going to happen in the future at all. Like, I would never have predicted that I woke up one day at the age of 21 and that day my brother and father would be in an accident. Like that, you cannot plan for traumatic or hideous events. Like, we just don't know. Good morning, Liz. Lovely to see you. We just don't know when they're going to come. So when we get anxious, in that moment, we're creating a movie in our mind very cleverly. It gets brought to life. It's pretty fantastic, the brain that we have. But the brain is a machine. The brain wants to know the future because it likes to keep us in survival mode. It wants us to kind of survive, obviously, as a species. But most of that stuff that's getting generated from the brain is made up from our imagination. So a lot of people at the moment are thinking the worst. They're thinking, I might die, or my family might die. And of course, what that does is it sets off the stress response in our body. Any kind of unsettled thinking sets off our brilliant and very effective stress response. But that stress response is meant for running away from danger, like the flight or fright response, right? So it's adrenaline, noradrenaline. Now, when we set off that response with our thinking, we turn off our immune system. Like, that's what happens. It turns off the immune system. It turns off the growth hormone. It turns off all of the things which keep us going, keep us alive, keep us healthy. It turns off all of those things and turns on the cortisol, the stress hormone, the adrenaline, the noradrenaline. So your immune system, every time you're thinking stressful or anxious thoughts, is getting activated. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're worried about the coronavirus, which is understandable, and I appreciate that, you know, I had anxiety for 24 years. Like, I know what it's like. I know how debilitating it can be and how dominating it can be and how heavy it can feel. But just know that everything is out of our control. We cannot know what's coming in the future. What we can do is protect ourselves either by talking to me or talking to someone else or talking to a friend, sharing how you feel and understanding that none of us know what's coming next. And no matter how much we worry and stress and strive, that's only going to serve to kind of make us feel contracted and weaken our immune system. We have survived as a human race for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, right? That's what we do know factually. We have survived up till this point. So we were built to survive, to thrive, to get through all of these diseases and viruses and illnesses as they arise, because we're human beings. You know, we have an inbuilt capacity to thrive and to get through it. That's why we've got this amazing stress response, because we were running away from man-eating saber-toothed tigers and all that, and we're all still here, and there's more of us. So that means we are going to be okay. But what we don't know is what's frightening us. And of course we don't know this, and at some point we will know more about this virus. We will know the survival rate, as much as we do about the flu. But what I know from my heart and in my heart is that whatever happens, we're going to be okay. Whatever happens, you're going to be okay. And all of that stressful thinking about this, the unknown, just serves to create panic and fear and our immune system being weaker. And we don't want that, all right? We want to feel that we were built to survive, and we are. So if any of this is affecting you, please get in touch with me. I'd be really happy to have a chat about all of this and the physiological response to stress. It's what I do. It's my area of speciality, and I've got years of mental health work and professionalism under my belt, and health, fitness and nutrition. So in terms of like a holistic approach, I can definitely help you. But there are, of course, mental health phone lines you can contact. But I just want you to know that it's okay. And whatever you're feeling, try not to, and I know this is going to be very difficult, but try not to kind of get caught up in this bubble that you're creating of the worst case scenarios, because often when we think about the worst case scenarios, they just don't happen, and you're going to be okay. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll see you next week for next week's Friday question of the week. Lots of love. Take care.